Morning. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the fellow being interviewed was talking about his study, his research, about the fact that most of us, most human beings, after we die, are not remembered for longer than 2 generations that follow us. Obviously, unless we are historic figures that encourage more generations to remember. He was saying that he has this warm relationship with his grandmother, and he laments the fact that when he has children, they will not know her personally. They'll only know her through photos. They'll never know the spirit that she possessed, that he loves so much as her grandson. When I have time, what I like to do is go to cemeteries. A little odd, maybe, but it's so beautiful for me to pay attention to who these people were, even though I didn't know them, right? And where they came from and how long they lived. Have you been to the one in Virginia City? I mean, that one is incredible. Old pioneers to the west, tiny little infants that died and were buried with the parents, or mothers and fathers that came from so far away in the east and made that rough ride to the west. I mean, it's such a tribute to the people we share the planet with. I like to read the obituaries as well, honoring the lives of the people. Even if I didn't know them, so impressed and inspired by the good fingerprints that they left from their lives while they were here. I almost feel like the people who write the obituaries are sitting us down next to the family photo album or scrapbook and walking us through their lives so that we can say, oh, I will remember them a little bit more. They'll say that we weren't the only ones that remember them, that they made a difference. They'll be greatly missed. When my dad was near death, his health was failing, and I had a chance to visit maybe 3 weeks before he died. And I remember we had a quiet moment before he laid down to rest. And he said, Mo, he said, you won't forget me, will you? I mean, that makes me pause even now. How could we forget my dad? How could I forget my dad? Such a human desire that we are not forgotten, that we have not lived in vain. Almost like as soon as the last memory slipped from our minds, he would not have existed. Little did he know how unforgettable he is. And even by people who worked with him and not just family. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to say about your life? For me, I hope it's that my life made the world a better place to be, and that maybe I was a light where there was darkness, and that I brought love where there was hatred, or that I posed another perspective. But what about you? Some people write their own epitaphs before they die, telling people what to remember about them. Don't forget, I did this and this. So, what would you want to be on your epitaph? What would you want people to remember about you? Different people will remember different things. But whatever is most important to you to be remembered for, why don't you do more of that today?